Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it is Cypher Sigma here, Cypher Sigma Toys, and it is a toy channel. And obviously, as Tuesday is, it is toy pickup time. Now, this is going to be a bit different. I'm really confused. So I have two packages. Both had a bit dings and dents and stuff like this, so I've had to open them. One is a Transformer, one is Marvel Legends, and you're going to be confused by the second one. So I have a story for it. So we'll go into this one. So so just before payday, I was scouring Facebook and the marketplaces and stuff like this, and I came across this one site, and he had this character, and I'll show you. So this is Nightbird. So essentially, from the G1 Transformers, she is a little ninja. If you look at the face, which is really lovely sculpt, very similar. But she was then created into a car transformer for the Rise of the Beasts movie. I will throw some pictures up as you go of the transformer because she didn't come with any instructions, so I have to figure out. It's quite small and intricate, so I don't want to do any damage. But a fun little right now. This was one of the ones that was quite hard. I do have another one from Rise of the Beasts on their way. I've almost completed my set, so I'm quite looking forward to it. I've got, I want to say, maybe two more figures, and I kind of have a bad guys are more or less all done now, good guys, and then I can do a little display because obviously I'm a big Beast Wars fan. Only cost me 20 quid, which is great. If people know that this is quite a hard figure to come by, it doesn't really come up. There was a load listed on Game with this picture, and it was actually the older version. So this is the Studio Series 1, so that's why it's even harder. Very intricate. I mean, if you grew up on Transformers, you know, when I'll probably do it like 360. So like you can see just how intricate and little twists and turns and something, all these little components they have to make them transform and look like their movie counterparts. So yeah, very, very glad to pick this up. Glad to have another one. Glad it's small as well. So it means it won't take up too much space. So obviously, if I probably put it there, that you can see it's not too big. It's probably what 3-4 inches, give or take. And I say, and the face, I am really, really impressed on that face sculpt. That is absolutely like amazing for the quality of figure that it is. So that is the first one. So the story, we have this, and I'll get this out because then people are going to be like, well, why have you bought that? So basically it is 3 sets of Build-A-Figure parts, and as I'm doing the parts you may not realize what it is until I show you this section here. So this is Nemesis. This is the latest Marvel Legends wave that has just dropped. It drops, or mine full wave that got delivered last week, and you would have seen in the video. So as I said, sorry, I've lost completely track leg, so I had to pause for a second. So yeah, so I got my full wave delivered last week. Something I kind of more done in recent years, and obviously I did this just before I kind of stopped in Marvel, is I'd always buy the wave. I would keep it all, and then after ages I just put the figures I didn't want in the box or something like this, and I still have several of those. With the last wave I did before I bought the Nemesis wave, is I had a few figures and I thought, well, I'm just going to throw them up on, oh no, it wasn't, it's a few multi-packs. It was the Banshee multi-pack. I just wanted Banshee, and the other figures, I think it was Gambit and Psylocke maybe. So I bonked them on Facebook Marketplace, and literally within like 5 minutes they sold, which quite surprised me, and I got most of my money back. And I've seen that happen quite a lot. So with the Nemesis wave, I was like, well, let's do this. I only want Nemesis, and I only want the 3 figures: Fabian Cortez, Husk, and Marrow. So you got popular characters like Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Wolverine, and Gambit. I was like, oh, well, that'll probably sell. Well, you know, that's what I do. If I sell them, I figured out kind of an average price for them, took the price of the Build-A-Figures out because they wouldn't have them. And I was like, okay, I'll put it there. I'll put a figure out. I will definitely go lower than that. I'm just, you know, working high and work down because that's the best way to work on these sort of things. So the wave turned up. I put the other figures on. A day or two went by, give or take. I don't think, yeah, a day or two went by while I was doing this, did my video, and I sat there with Nemesis in my hand, and I was like, I don't really know Nemesis Holocaust that much. it's not been a massive bigger for me. The money that I wanted back from this wave, because I've had a lot of expenditures, and my wife and mum have birthdays next month, and I bought stuff preempted, so I've been hit. So even though I've been paid, by the time everything goes out and all this stuff, that I haven't got much money, and I was hoping the figures would sell, so I would get like a big chunk of my money back, and that didn't happen. So then I've got this Nemesis in my hand, and I'm like, I'm not in love with the figure. I said I like it, but I'm not in love with it. And then I'm like, well, maybe I should sell this. So I went on eBay. I think I found one like 300-400 quid. Who the hell's got one? I'm selling it at that price. Had a look through Facebook. No, I seem to be one of the first few people to get my wave. I think maybe because I pre-ordered literally when it was released. Maybe the company I did it in order, and they got theirs first. And the fact this wave, and it seems to be a thing of Marvel Legends now released the wave in bits, whereas it isn't. Everybody's waiting for all these figures. So I threw it out on Facebook, and I threw it out on Vinted, and I was like, screw it. I did £75 all in on Vinted. I think it was 82 on Facebook, because obviously I have to pay fees. There's fees and shipping on that, and shipping's a little bit more. People started liking it on Vinted. I think I got 2 likes over a day or 2 on Facebook. On Vinted, I was getting quite a few likes. So everyone that came in, I'd offer them £5 more, £5 less. Sorry, so £75. So it was 70, because I understand that £5 with fees and postage, it will go down. One guy came to me and said, "Would you take £62?" I was like, "No." So I met him in the middle. So I was like, £66. He took it. As of just recording this video, he has received it. So I sold it for £66. That's profit. That's how much I've got back. So it's great. I've got a bit of money in my account. So after I sold it, you then kind of have buyer's remorse, and it wasn't really buyer's remorse. It was kind of, it is a cool figure. I don't see many people getting it. The people aren't buying the figures. So I think this is one that you may struggle. But anyway, someone had obviously picked up 3 of the figures and had 3 of the parts. So it was the torso and both arms. So I'm just missing Nightcrawler's cap and jetpack, and then both legs. And the legs seem to be the little bit the harder ones to get. But he was offering 20 quid, and I sat there. I ummed and ahed for like 30, 60 seconds. I thought, bugger it. I've sold mine. I've sold it for £66. I've now got half of it back for 20 quid. So if I can get the other 3 parts for the same amount of price, £20, if I just keep, I'm not in no rush, then that means essentially I've made £26, and the figure, the figure hasn't cost me anything, and I've made £26 on it. So, and obviously if I can sell those other figures, essentially I would have more or less I would have got a Nemesis and the 3 figure. I would have got all my figures for probably like a tenner. Which is absolutely amazing. If that does happen, hopefully the figures do sell, we don't know, and I've got to pick up the other ones, so that'll be a time. So yeah, so that's why you're going to be surprised where you go, well, you've already picked this figure up, why are you picking it up again? I say it is a little bit buyer's remorse, but it is just, times are hard a little bit. I wouldn't normally have done this, and I do give reasonable prices on stuff that I am selling. I could go 100, I could go 150 and try and get the whole price. I'm not realistic. I had 75. That was half price of the whole wave. People sell parts for about 10 quid. So 6 parts would be about 60 quid. But obviously you have to find someone with all 6 parts. And obviously like the torso and stuff, and there is weight to it, so it would cost more. So there's all these things to consider, but I think I've done the right thing. I say just take time and look out, and hopefully over time there'll be the odd leg or the bit. I say 2, one of the legs and one of the packs was on Vinted, and I could have got about 15 quid for that, but those sold, so I was a bit gutted, because then I could have, ordered one leg and I could have completed it. But it is what it is. But that has been it. Have you been in a situation I've been? Have you bought something, decided to sell it because you needed the money, and then not too long picked it up for a cheaper price, or maybe more? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. I've been Cypher Sigma Toys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I should definitely see you in the next one.